Content warning. The following gameplay video contains content that is visually disturbing and may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is highly advised. Hi guys, I'm Speaker of the Void, and today we're going to be playing The Last Door Episode 4, Ancient Memories. So, let's see here. Previously on The Last Door, in Episode 3, we had been lost in London. We're still following Davitt. The old nickel rookery is where we found ourselves, but perhaps not the rookery as might actually be known. We got lost in the mists and ended up following a shady fellow who seemed to be guiding us to a particular place. We learned of the legend. We didn't learn the actual legend of the Simurgh, but we learned of it. It was a name that we have heard. And what we did find out about the Simurgh led us through what we are led to believe is Zyla, a land of fog. And we met a particular individual. I've always pronounced his name Alexandre, but it might just be Alexander. I'm not sure. But he was a member of the small group at Davitt's old school. And he gives us maybe a little more information about the bird. And this is not the kind of bird that you flip, unfortunately. But he tells us a little bit about what we are facing. Side note, this next scene depicts someone being, it involves needles and being stabbed square in the neck with a needle. So if you want to skip this particular scene, there's not exactly, the most important part of this scene, I feel, is this first starting line, "There is no turning back." So if you want to skip this scene, I will put a timestamp down in the description below, and you'll be able to skip ahead to the actual episode itself. So. Davitt has apparently made up his mind, which is always either a good thing or trouble. We're not sure. So, I don't remember if this one was released at the end of 2013 or if it was released in 2014. We'll find out at the end of the video. But once again, we are treated to the lovely introductory sequence. I think with Season 2, I'm actually going to use... There's an alternate font that you can use that is more dyslexia friendly. I might switch to that when we switch to Season 2. Anyway. Hey, at least they make the constellations just as pretty in a pixel game as they are in real life. we don't know if this is a dream or what. Silhouettes that hide the truth from our poor senses, huh? Yeah, I think there's a whole thing about not pulling back the curtain that this entire game seems to build on. The Vale is a place of mists. Kind of like that place of mists that we crossed through in the past episode. Must find the door as I did. And here we are with Dr. Wakefield and Dr. Coughlin. Mysterious letters, huh? You know, since they're going off and searching for DeVitt themselves instead of, oh, I don't know, calling the police? Massacre of St. Gall, huh? I do feel bad for the poor nuns. This is an awful long way to go for one patient. What about his other patients? He is one of the victims. Are you telling me my patient has been murdered? So, DeVitt and Beechworth both, Anthony Beechworth, were students at St. Gall. Side note, if you hear me randomly chuckling, you might, I might be laughing at my doggo, who you may also occasionally hear moo in the background. I try to keep her from doing that, but, well, what is a husky if not a loud dog? I will post pictures of her on Twitter at some point soon, promise. Anyway. Victims were inflicted with terrible wounds and all had an expression of utmost terror. Huh. You know, maybe you shouldn't be investigating this yourselves. Just a thought. And you all will notice that this is different than what we actually experienced. Empty hypodermic needle with traces of an unknown substance. And of course, this is well before. This is in like the late 1800s. I don't know when people were to. Speaking of huskies, I don't know when people would have been able to like start figuring out what substances are with just the traces. I always want to pronounce his name Alexandre. Pevensey. I almost want to look up and see if this is an actual place now. Huh. Castle Pevensey. Pevensey Castle, excuse me. One of the last Saxon shore forts. Looks like it's northeast of Westham in England. Cool. Anyway, moving on. And here we are. Large iron bar latching the door. Sure, let's take the iron bar that's clearly keeping the door closed for some reason. That's clearly what we need to do. Perhaps I should go inside anyway. You know, breaking and entering. Footsteps from upstairs. It's missing a hand. Fun. Yeah. Silhouette of a man bearing a strong resemblance to Alexandre. And the silhouette of a woman who must be his wife, perhaps. And here we find Alexandre. Were they yours or someone else in the house? And he's unresponsive. Yep, still unresponsive. Can you tell me what is happening? It's missing its bird. And yep, it is in fact canted 90 degrees counterclockwise. And on the bedside, what's it say? Scribbled annotation in this piece of paper. veil is something we sense in our innermost beings incessantly. In vain do we waste our lives. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that again. I just got my tongue twisted. Behind which the great wings beats. Lots of bird symbology. Laudanum. I think I remember laudanum being a common anti-anxiety, like back in the Victorian era. And it's all been consumed. Great. Well, we might as well check for that other set of footsteps. Maybe they'll know what's going on. Chest made of oak wood. Camera tripod. Red tinted glass used to do lamp. A couple of people wearing rat masks. What's this? Cyanide. Oh, fun. Home chemistry recipes have been, a few pages are bookmarked. Collodion for photography. So this is like the old school, like before we had the more modern film. Whose workings are beyond my knowledge. Apparently we can take the cyanide, but then it's used for photography developing things, so... we'll poke at that chest here in a minute. Let's see if we can find... This picture of an angel with a gentle face. And a bust with his face turned about. Huh. That seems a little, strange. It's a letter. Excellent news. Contact from the university has given me access to an alchemical tome containing an amazing formulary. Leafing through the grimoire and marveling at the exquisite illumination, I have been struck by an epiphany. A radical but elegant method that I've decided to try. Forgive me for not providing information. Okay, I mean, I can understand some of the secrecy, but at the same time, documentation is everything when it comes to scientific discovery. Document your attempts, document your experiments, document your results. Then again, it's been long enough that I've forgotten my lessons on Victorian era history. 1887, and we're currently in, what, 1893, I think? Seems an invoice. May this document serve as record of the payment made corresponding to the following work. Cuckoo clock mechanism has been modified to give the strokes exclusively at 6:15 in the afternoon. 6:15 is evening. Special device and a switch have been added to synchronize all clocks in the house. Oh, what's this? Large envelope of black felt covered in dust and ashes. Labeled with a warning, do not open under white light. What do we have here? Strange and complex books, the movements of shadows, preserving the mind, and lessons beyond nature. Huh? Doesn't seem to be anybody else upstairs. Oh, large iron hook. Fragment of a diary. Can't work in the basement anymore. Those wretched sculptures. Feel them stalking me in the darkness. Goodness. So that would be why all the statues are either missing or turned away. There are no weeping angels. Vivancy Castle, except it's not ruined. A couple of old teacups, and one of them is still full and warm. That's the edge of that room, I suppose. What's in here? Lantern! Diary. This is the last thing that's written. The last pages have been ripped out. Oh, fun. Been a while since I can't devote any time to this diary for reasons beyond my control. Event more tragic has taken place in this house. Mr. Dupre has gotten ill, immersed in an everlasting stupor from which it seems he shall not return any time soon. And yet, one would think that we just spoke with Alexandre. Not even... probably not even a week prior to this. And this is back in 1887. We're in, what, 1890 something? Indeed, what happened to the members of Alexandre's family? Cellar door is locked. I don't need a key. Oh, hello. Ancient stone well. I broke hands down into the darkness. Whoop. Whoa. Oh, hey, we just so happen to have this iron hook. Let's see if it doesn't snap this time. Within the mud and dirt inside the bucket, there is a small bird of brass. Like a cuckoo bird. Doesn't seem to be any water in the well, though. What's this? Great. Oh. Memories. Looks like someone was buried here. Can't dig with my bare hands. Why are... I mean, have you tried digging with your lion hands, maybe? Oh, hello. That would be an angel. Little statue. A jar of vitriol. So this is what they mean when they say one is full of vitriol. Wait. Statue of an angel with its wings spread. Its head is missing. Statue of an angel, well covered in mold. It's glancing at me with a sad gesture. And we apparently can't look at this one, but we have nothing to fear from them. Missing a cuckoo bird. Oh hey, it just so happens that we have a little brass bird. Almost like it's a cuckoo bird. And it fits. Because of course it does. And we're not supposed to take these out under white light, but it looks like there was red glass surrounding this lantern, so... Oh hey, we can take the lantern bulb out. Move the light bulb from the lamp. Now let's see if we can go find a way to stain it red. It may seem silly, but the scenes that take place in the dark always spook me. And oh hey, we happen to have this lantern now, so we can go... Oh my. Dead deer. Well, I was just saying that we needed to find a way to turn this light bulb red. Side note, there are better ways to do this. Now the bowl is grossly covered in blood. Yeah, because you just shoved it inside of a deer corpse. Alright. But hey, we've got our red bulb now. Okay. So. Take this, put it back in the lantern. Oh. The image is faded out. Alright. There's a glass plate, one side covered with an opaque substance. I placed it in the basin. So first, vitriol. And then a couple drops of cyanide. Images appearing on the plate. Photograph of Anthony and Alexandre. And a third individual. Oh fuck! Yeah, this is why I don't like this particular scene. Fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna have to... I should have put a warning about flashing images at the beginning of this video. And now I'm 30 minutes in. Shit. I will put a warning down in the description about that. And put a, Alright, so we want this clock to be 6:15, so we need the hour hand here, and well, we'll need the hour hand facing the 6 and the minute hand facing. So essentially we need to take this and flip it so the hour hand's over here. Nothing we can do to help him. Key inside the bird. Bird is key. There's nothing we can do to help Alexander with seizure because David is not a medic. But yeah, that particular flashing image, I will put a warning for it in the description. Ooh. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm just a little jumpy. Everything's fine. Dusty carpet of Asian origin. Mold and dust covered portraits. Piece of fine furniture. Inside one drawer is a gardener's shovel. Oh, good. Ancient statue in poor condition. Remains of a Roman mosaic behind the wall. And there's nothing distinguishable. Great, we're going to... we have this gardener's shovel and this strange grave that's back here. So clearly we're going to dig it up. Lock is very rusted, almost shattered. Oh my. Remains of a humanoid body with a grotesque animal aspect. Maybe a small ape? It has a collar with some engraved words on it. Old Mike. Well, hello, Old Mike. Besides the quartz, there's a paper leaf. Dear Alexandre, methods are definitely stronger than mine. Results with such alacrity. On another note, my epiphany with the treatise of alchemy was not accidental. Come to the conclusion that for a time, Remundus Lully thought the same thing that we did. Formula that he calls Hoppo, like the legendary bird. Hoppo is not a legendary bird, it's just a normal bird. It's another name for a particular kind of crane, I think? Hoopo. Okay. There's 3 living and 1 extinct species recognized. Okay, so it's not a crane, but it does have kind of the insect-like beak. Anyway. Closely resembles the serum with which we have worked, except for minor differences. It's a pity what you tell me about old Mike. I hope he gets better soon. Thank you for trying to comfort me when I have been spooked, Kira. Good dog. A very good dog. Yes. Anyway. So. Skeletal fingers are clutching a rolled up canvas. It's a map of the stars. Navigational map marking the summer triangle. Let's leave old Mike to his slumber, shall we? And that sounded like Alexandre. Let's go check on him. And he's gone. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm a little bit jumpy, but I'm fine. Some diary pages are on the wheelchair. Paper is ripped apart as if somebody stripped it off the book hastily. Hey, remember that book down in the kitchen that had pages torn out? 31st, 1891. Yay. Writing this to the light of my desk lamp, hoping to be able to remember it all when the birds finally sing and the sun blessing dispels the dark shadows. Strong wind hit the valley, so strong that it cracked the large branch of the old oak in the garden. Hard to get sleep during these nights. Wakened by the chill of night and saw the professor standing on the balcony. Already made a decision. I will leave this house. Statue is holding something. Lens mounted in a metal ring. Also, this looks very familiar to the beginning of the game, or beginning of this episode rather. Because remember, we were standing out on this balcony, looking out at the tower. Oof. But where in the world has Alexandre gotten off to? We're not going back in there. That did me a good spook. Not in here. I don't like this. Nope. Void? Scared of the dark? Not at all. Except very much so. There's no way you could have snuck by it. Except he could have. Well, hello. This wasn't here before. Or it might have been, I just didn't cross through it. Book. And then a language unknown to me. Scrawled annotations written in English and in the margins. This and no other is the function of the serum we manufactured in the boarding school. Proscenium of the big theater, and help us look behind the curtain. The hoopoe, which is referring to the formula, I think. Cage that used to hold captive animals. Which is not a big enough cage for any kind of animal. Let's be real here. Numerable jars full of murky objects suspended in formaldehyde. Jars of test tubes. Everything is soaked in chemical residues and the air is filled with the smell of vinegar. Okay. Reminder, guys, if you're gonna mess with chemicals in this modern era, please do so under a fume hood or out of doors. And please make sure you know what you're doing first. Bunch of dust-covered beakers with repulsive liquids. A few of them have developed fungi inside. Well, that must mean they were created by a fun guy. I'm sorry, that was a stretch. Dark hole in the center of this room. It delves into the depths of the earth, far beyond what I can see. Mountain of compacted snow. What is snow doing here? Wooden secretary desk, beautifully carved. Flip top has no knob or lock, just some strange symbols. Crystal fits perfectly in the telescope. And let's see, we wanted the triangle, right? So we want that one, and that one. Let's see if I can remember those right. That one, and that one. Nope, not the triangle I'm looking for. That is the right symbol there. That one. No. Might be one star up. That might be my problem. Yeah. There we go. So we've got the waves with the line through them, the weird U, and the trident-looking thing. So let's see here. Waves with a line through them, the weird U, and then the trident-looking one. And it pops open. Small cabinet with 2 slots for syringes. Only one of them remains. Well, that's great. So now we're just walking around with a needle. A voice again comes from the bottom of the pit. Oh, wait. I missed this piece of paper earlier. Open envelope with a letter inside. Terribly sorry about old Mike. Will you put him to rest in his favorite place? After weeks of unsuccessful attempts, I've managed to distill the alchemical formula based on the notes you sent me. As for the craft, subject related to the serum as usual, rapidly entering a state of waking sleep. Convulsions stopped, and since then he's not been responding to any kind of stimulation. Rendered him brain dead. Well, that's not great. Alexandre. And he's not responding. Variety of surgical instruments and some jars with chemicals in them. Well, that's fun. Chair in the middle of the room. And apparently we were supposed to search for the hypodermic. The last door. Xylitol. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. What do you guys think? We can cross together. What should I do? Waiting for you in the mist. Nearby I can hear it. What is nearby? The beating of its wings. It knows we are afraid. That would probably be the bird. I am ready. Okay, so for those of you who have, for example, say a needle phobia, you may want to look away. Because essentially what's going to happen is we're going to sit down. Alexander is going to fill the syringe with, I assume, the chemical that sends people into the catatonic state and deposits them in the veil. And he's going to shank us square in the neck. And that's going to be the closing scene. So, if you want to look away, you can, and I will not judge you for it. Yes, that's for the needle. And that is episode 4. Find any clue here about DeWitt's whereabouts? And that would be the old, Beechworth Manor. Police have taken almost everything, but we have no other leads to pursue. Hopefully they have overlooked something. What about this room? Oh, hey. The door that we couldn't open in the first episode. Dear Alexandre, must reflect on this, don't know what we're dealing with. If you were to open the door, it may stay that way. An open way for whatever lives on the other side. Oh, that's fun. And that is episode 4, guys. Oh. Well, I guess it's not entirely episode 4. We are in the land of mists. Metaphysically, at least. Physically, we are currently sitting in a chair, having been shanked in the neck with an unknown chemical formula. And that would be episode 4, I believe. Yeah. Adventure continues in season 2. Okay, so this one was released in 2014. Alright. Thank you guys for watching, for joining me here in this little journey. I will see you next time. I've been Speaker of the Void, and we will continue this in season 2, episode 1. Bye!